Let's talk about the old Tectone ban. As you guys have heard, I'm a little bit late to the story, but Tectone was banned on April 26th for a reason that will blow your mind. Again, I know I'm a little bit late to the story, but I figured I still needed to cover it because I have a lot to say about this issue, and I think it's absolutely despicable that Twitch ended up banning him. Tectone was banned originally for 2 weeks. He got the notification on April 26th. I was legitimately there frame one of finding out he was banned. I was standing in the middle of Collecticon with my friends. I went to look up Tectone for some reason on YouTube, on Twitch, and I couldn't search his channel. So we actually immediately called him and said, "Hey, did you get banned?" And he said, "Yes, I was banned." Where were you when Tectone was banned? Because I know where I was. But yeah, we found out pretty quickly that it was a ban for bullying and harassment. Which, if you've been living under a rock for the past few days or few weeks, Tectone has been going a little bit on Frogan. But here's the thing: it was completely provoked. Tectone didn't do this unprovoked. He didn't just decide to go after Frogan. Frogan has constantly been a nuisance, a bad person, and just an overall, just real piece of human garbage over the past few weeks to months. Ever since she was in the Content Cop video, she attempted to go back on some of the statements that she made, right? She attempted to, so I don't know if you guys are familiar with the original Frogan clip. We can take a peek at the clip for anyone who is too unfamiliar of what exactly she said.
I have no pity at all for any fucking soldiers. Distress, thank you so much. I will never have any fucking pity for any fucking soldiers. U.S. military? Boo fucking who? I hope you get PTSD.
Yeah, so this statement alone, and again, I do want to make it clear, this is 5 months old at this point. This happened around October 19th. I think this is one of the most despicable things you could say. Whether or not you agree with your country's military, you should have a little bit of compassion for, at least at the minimum, the active soldiers and the retired soldiers. Whether you agree with the overall politics of it, if you agree of who we go to war with, you're more than welcome to call out the country as a whole. But when you're talking about individual soldiers who really, ultimately, legitimately, I don't want to say they did nothing wrong, but these are just people that were either like sort of drafted, or they had no other means, or they had to join the military because of financial destitute. You don't just fucking go after them like that. Like, that is fucking absolutely insane to me. You give them a little bit of respect, right? I don't think every soldier automatically deserves respect at the end of the day, but I'm not going to disparage them. I'm not going to talk shit about them. I recognize that they were in active military situations. They were actively deployed. The majority of them come back with some sort of PTSD or something wrong with them, or some fucking limbs blown off, things like that. We should have a little bit of respect. I don't come from a military family, so I really don't have a lot of close ties to the military. Michael, thanks so much for the tier 150. I don't have a lot of ties to the U.S. military, though it doesn't hit as close to home to me as it does for someone like Tectone, who has literal family in the military. I believe his father was in the military. So I'm not like that as aggro or that as passionate about this topic, but it's just someone who lives in the U.S. who acknowledges that these soldiers that fight so incredibly hard, they risk their lives, they risk their family, they risk their relationships with their family, so that we can live in a country that is free, so that me and you are able to have this conversation right now. It's absolutely insane that you are going to go on live stream and just openly talk shit about it. And again, she's talking shit to an audience. I could see if you're with your friends, you're trying to be cool. Oh, I'm so cool shitting on the U.S. military. No, you are going on a platform to go on and disparage people in front of dozens of people, in front of dozens of the Frogan watchers, all 6 of them. And you know what the most ironic part of the entire situation is? Those same soldiers she's talking shit about are the only reason she is able to go on this website and speak the way she is. Yep. Those same soldiers that she's talking shit about give her the ability and give her the freedom to have an open discourse and basically say whatever you want because it's a free country and you can't be persecuted with what you say unless it's like a threat to the government. So it's very ironic calling out those same soldiers who are giving you the literal ability to talk shit about them. As always, every single fucking clip that she's in, she's fucking eating. And you know what? As someone who is a fat piece of shit as well, I can call this shit out and I shouldn't get banned for it. Every clip that she's in, she seems to be eating something. I don't know what came first, the chicken or the egg. Does food make her say bad things, or does she get rewarded with food after saying bad things? The world may never know.
You know? I do the ones I'm like whatever about the U.S. soldiers are the ones that like acknowledge that like what they did was wrong. They didn't know back then. Whatever. You're a good person in my book. I'm like a Tom. Thank you so much for the 10 gifts.
And you know what's even worse to me is that people are encouraging this behavior by like gifting subs and supporting her in chat. Like I don't know if you guys were like watching the chat at all, but like people are legitimately supporting this type of behavior. It's absolutely fucking sickening. I don't know how Twitch... I think Twitch gave her a 1-day ban for this. If I remember correctly, it was like a 1-day ban. Is this the girl who has no sympathy for people who have PTSD and trauma from war? Yes. Yes, Pika, this is her. I believe either she didn't get a ban or got a 1-day ban, which is absolutely kind of crazy to me. No, it was over the racist tier list. Okay, true. Yeah, it probably wasn't even over this. So I guess you could just say this. I guess you could just say shit like this on stream and be okay with it.
Gifted. So the U.S. military that are like, yeah, like, you know, I did this back then, but now I know it's wrong. Like, I'm changed. Like, fuck imperialism. Fuck this. You don't deserve the PTSD. But like any other motherfucker, you're joining them. You're like, oh my god, I want my fucking Camaro, no student loans. Fuck you.
So people that acknowledge that being in war was bad, being in war sucks, they get the pass. But anyone who was doing it out of like financial destitution, who basically had to do it because there was no really other option in life, those are the bad people. Let's be real. Those are the bad people. Everyone else, you're okay.
I hope you get PTSD. And I hope you get no health insurance when you get back into fucking America.
No, how? Why the fuck would you wish that upon people? We're all pretty familiar with this, right? We're all pretty familiar with her original statements. So that ended up happening, and then the next thing that happened is that she basically went and doubled down on the situation, right? She let me see if I can find the clip here. So she originally caught a little bit of heat for that situation. She immediately came back, probably like a week or two later. And let me see if I can find it. So long story short, she in Ross got unbanned. Interesting. So long story short, she came back and reacted to her own clip after she got a little bit of backlash. She didn't get too much backlash, but
this girl's a terrorist. Get her out of America. Listen to
that's wild, Aiden.
I hope you get PTSD.
Stuff your face, you fat pig.
True.
Disgusting pig.
Is this not the based? Yeah, it is. Okay. So basically a few weeks later, after she gets some backlash, she reacts to her own stream, and like just like trying to see exactly like, okay, wait, what did I say that was bad? And her reaction to it is based. No, your reaction is not based. Your reaction is disgusting and horrible. So that was actually fucking insane. How do you get backlash and then double down and then go on Twitter and triple down? She went on her own Twitter and triple down on what exactly she said. Rip Shinya 2-week ban soon. Hey, I'm just covering the story, man. I'm not gonna be throwing punches. So she doubled down on Twitter, on Twitch, and then she tripled down on Twitter pretty shortly after that. I don't have the exact link to it, but you can go find it yourself if you want to trudge through her Twitter. So not only that happened. So then, about how long ago was this? This was actually a few days ago. So a few days ago, around April 25th, She goes on, I think it was on Twitter, and basically tries to walk back her statement. She goes, I didn't mean it. People took what I said out of context. That was, a misrepresentation of what I was trying to say. Frogan released a new video trying to clear things up. Is this
In the latest Twitch news, Twitch streamer Frogan has
see if
gone
we can find
viral on
it.
social media after making continuous
has conducted some of the most
Base?
God, I hate her.
Like, am I supposed to be like I'm not walking back on it. I still agree with it. Base.
So it's crazy to me that God, it gets worse and worse. So not only does she double down on it, she admits that she's not going to walk it back. That's wild.
after this blew up all over social media.
Oh, Tectone mentioned, yippee!
Yeah, she then apologized in the following tweet.
The US military has conducted some of the most horrific crimes against humanity in the modern era in countries such as Iraq, Afghanistan, Syria,
So
Lebanon,
I
and
didn't
Pakistan.
realize here that she did a soft apology back in October. I didn't realize this, but this is interesting.
Directed at individuals who are currently championing these war crimes as if they liberated my people. It's horrific and disgusting. The beginning of the clip was worded poorly, and I do apologize for that. I go on to clarify in the clip.
Sender
that I
level
did not mean
apology,
all the
100%.
military, but specifically those with no remorse. What I
As
said
an editor, no,
out of
I doubt
frustrations,
it.
they are currently bombing my family in the name of liberation. I realize that wishing people harm isn't the best way to talk about these issues, and that I could have talked about these topics in a more sensitive way.
After Frogan's comments, Aiden Russia.
Yeah, definitely like a Cinder level apology. Absolutely fucking awful apology. I'm pretty sure that nobody in their right mind would go and accept that apology. There was a recent video she made.
Hi,
Was
my
this
name is
it?
Frogan, and this is the first time I'm ever.
Oh god, I don't want to listen to a Frogan video. So basically, long story short, last few days ago, did someone already tell you Frogan got a 4-week ban? Wait, no. Wait, did Frogan recently get a 4-week ban? Hold on. No, this is old. Wait, this is super old. This is back in November. 4 weeks. I do not remember her getting banned for 4 weeks. What did she get banned for? Because this was almost. It was all the drama with the asthma ban. Where does 1 day come from though? She got banned because I'm pretty sure she got banned a day. I'm pretty sure she got unbanned a day in October. October 21st. When did this originally happen? October 21st. So she might have gotten a 4-week ban. But that deserves a perma ban, honestly. Actually, right here. Streamer bans about choice platform. Try to clarify in the comments. However, Frogan later clarified that her comments about military were not the cause of her ban. So she didn't get banned. So she didn't get banned for the military comment. She got banned for the hummus situation. So let's be real, guys. You can say all this horrible shit about the U.S. military, but you can't make a racism tier list. Got it. Yeah, so right here, I mean, these are her words herself. So pretty crazy to me. So then in a recent video, and I'm not going to subject you guys to 12 minutes of a Frogan video, just because I would rather gouge my eyes out with a ice cream scooper. She basically walked back her apology again, and basically, oh hey, that's me, and basically stated that no, people were taking her words out of context. That's not what she meant. Yada yada yada. It sounds like she put on new victim. She misspoke and didn't mean what she said. Absolutely fucking crazy. So that entire situation happened. So before we get into the next part, let's put a few facts on the table, right? Frogan is a horrible human being, right? And let's be real, she just is. She has made enough of a mockery on herself over the past weeks to months to probably years. I don't know. Prior to this whole situation, but you have to have a lot of hate and a lot of disdain in your heart to say some of the stuff that she has said on Twitter and on videos, right? And on Twitch. Absolutely disgusting to me that someone is going to go after U.S. military. And again, a lot of these people really ultimately did nothing wrong. They were forced into the situation. They had to do it because there was no other option in their life. And, it is what it is. But to actively go after them just to get a few likes and a few clicks on Twitch and Twitter is despicable. And someone who I'm very close to, Mr. Techie, who obviously has some active military family, right? He has some people that are in his family, and I know his dad is one of them specifically, who is active military, who is literally probably still in the military. I believe his brothers and stuff are as well. That he's very close. He has very close ties to the U.S. military. And the fact that, and again, I've talked about this. I don't have very many ties to the U.S. military. So to me, this is just like, it's an outside issue, right? This hits home for Techie, especially his father, who is very close to. When someone is actively shitting on and actively disparaging your family, and that has sacrificed everything, they've come back from war and they have PTSD, they maybe got fucked up, they maybe got, a limb blown off, things like that. He saw red a little bit, right? He probably went in a little bit too hard on Frogan. To me, I don't think he went in too hard. But when it comes from when I say political, I don't mean literal political, but when it comes from a company perspective of, hey, we got to be nice to everyone. We got to be nice to everyone. We got to keep it a buck. We got to keep it fair, and we got to keep it civil. Which honestly, we already know they don't do with the whole Frogan situation, because she is just a disgusting human. So he gets banned, right? He gets banned. He calls her fat. He calls her disgusting. He calls her gross. Whatever. The issue is him getting a 2-week ban. Originally, I understand he got it overturned early, but getting a 2-week ban for calling someone fat and gross and disgusting because they called out the U.S. military and decided they deserve the PTSD and they don't deserve healthcare when they get back from America is fucking wild to me. Absolutely insane. 2 weeks. Half of the ban for wishing ill and wishing harm on U.S. military. Only half. Calling someone fat, calling someone disgusting, that's only half as bad as calling out the U.S. military. What a fucking joke. Twitch is a fucking disgraceful platform, and I hate that I even have to fucking stream on this platform. Honestly fucking insane. It was a 2-week, mostly because he already got a 1-week ban a couple months ago. Proof? WTW proof? Because Twitch's ban policy is inconsistent as hell. And that is not true in the slightest. So he gets a 2-week ban. Honestly, just absolutely fucking despicable. One of the interesting things is that when you get unbanned from, and I can't find the clip, I don't want to sit here and subject you guys to me searching. One of the interesting things is that when you get unbanned from Twitch now, Twitch has you fill out a little survey, a little test. They make you do a test, right? They say, here's some situations where could this be considered harassment? Could this be considered bad, right? So they give you a little test, and they say, is this acceptable? Is this not acceptable? And one of the questions on the little test, and again, this is from Twitch, and I'm not quoting this verbatim, so don't hold me exactly 100% to these words, is let's say that a live streamer or someone in chat wishes bad upon the U.S. military, right? Let's say that they said they deserved what happened to them while they were overseas in the U.S. military. Let's say the person says they deserved it, right? Is this ban worthy? And you guys want to know what the answer to that question is? The answer is yes. So within their own documentation internally, they are literally asking a question that's literally happened. I believe Twitch picked him as a candidate for the new Twitch test, probably. So let's say they literally have internal documentation covering this exact situation. The exact situation. Said it was ban worthy. And didn't end up banning Frogan for it. So that's absolutely wild to me. How in the world can you have internal documentation with the exact situation that happened, put it in front of an audience, Tectone, and say, is this bannable, and have it be yes? But it's the same fucking person that was banned for calling out that behavior. That feels like something out of a fucking comedy movie, right? Something like that is absolutely insane that you're testing that exact situation on the guy that you banned for. Unreal. Absolutely unreal. So, the long and short of it, Taki luckily ends up getting unbanned after about, I think it was like 2 days. Let me see here. I believe it was about 2 days. I'm sure he put in his appeal. I'm sure Twitch realized that that it was probably the dumbest thing for him to do. I don't know exactly how he was able to get unbanned so quickly. I think this was Twitch attempting to run it back. They realized how fucking stupid they sound. They realized that they were being absolutely insane with his ban. And they ran it back pretty quick. So he ended up only being banned for 2 days instead of the whole 2 weeks, which good on you, Twitch, for reversing it pretty quickly. But bad on you for even banning him for 2 weeks in the first place when you literally have come out and basically said that the type of shit that Frogan says is bannable. So good job, Twitch. Overall, I think you get a 2 out of 10 for this entire situation. You can do better. I know you have it better in you. So, Techie then ends up streaming over on YouTube for a little bit, right? So I believe he originally started streaming on YouTube pretty much right after. And obviously, as we can see here, the last times he streamed on Twitch, or excuse me, on YouTube, he streamed a year ago. All right, so he did a couple year ago ones. And then 2 weeks ago, he did that one little YouTube chat exclusive when he got banned for a day. And then he comes over to Twitch, or YouTube. God, I gotta keep saying that. And bro pops the fuck off. Bro starts streaming over on YouTube, 163K, and this is just views. This isn't live views. 172, 91, 96. So now he's multi-streaming. So what Twitch did, Twitch doesn't realize the demon that they created. Now he's multi-streaming on YouTube for one. And he now knows he has the green light. If he truly wanted to, he can move over to YouTube and be just as successful. And I feel like a lot of people that do end up getting banned when they go over to these other platforms and they see that the grass is greener. The grass truly is greener on the other side because Twitch has become a bastardized version of the website that we all once knew and loved. He could literally change platforms tomorrow, and probably still make as much money, if not more money, on YouTube. So, good job, Twitch. I hope you keep banning some of your top talent. I hope you keep protecting your 6 viewer Andys like Frogan. Keep up the good work. Hope this helps. And as always, like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.